It's match day 5 in the UEFA Champions League, and we're concerned with Group E tonight. Here on ESPN, Derek Ray, Janusz Mihalik. And it will be Panathinaikos to get the second half underway. Let's take a look at match day 6, the decisive match day, December 9. Dynamo Kyiv will travel to France, while Panathinaikos will host Arsenal.
And that's why this is a very important game. If Dynamo Kyiv wins here, it will set up a huge game against RC Lens. For Panathinaikos, obviously they're going to be playing Arsenal, which is out of it by now, but it still will be a very difficult game.
So Panathinaikos in the white shirts attacking the goal to our left here in the second half. They lead 1-0 thanks to Panathinaikos in the 36th minute. Now we will find out exactly what Dynamo Kyiv are made of. They need a victory to stay very much in pole position to make it to the quarterfinals. Apostolakis goes down, wins the free kick. 34 years of age, Stratos Apostolakis.
Apostolakis a little bit off balance here as we see him getting clipped from behind.
And the man who committed the foul was the substitute who has just come into the match, Valentin Bialkiewicz, second member of the Belarus contingent, and he has replaced Kosovsky. As you mentioned, Janusz, Kosovsky had a hard time of it in the first half. Let's see if Bialkiewicz can make a difference. Here he is. And certainly putting Vokolos to the test, and he wins the corner.
Well, it's certainly a very good sub right away. He's showing that he wants to play. That left side did not work well for Dynamo Kyiv. Kosovsky really spending most time on the right side, and that's why the change.
25 years of age, the 1995 Belarus Player of the Year, Bialkiewicz. It's a wayward corner. Gatskiewicz, also from Belarus. Varziha. Couldn't get too much service in the first half. Krzysztof Varziha. Luzhny. Here's the dashing Kardash with Shevchenko beside him. Bialkiewicz in the middle. Vanchik read it very well indeed.
Vanchik really stood his ground, waited for Shevchenko to come in. That's why he's a very good keeper. He's very experienced. As we see this one more time, a little bit, the touch failed him just a little bit. And look at Vanchik charging out.
Brave goalkeeping by Josef Vanchik. We've been playing for 2 minutes in the second half. And this is the scene here at the Olympijski Stadium in Kyiv. Dynamo Kyiv 0, Panathinaikos 1. Dynamo Kyiv have a perfect record against Greek opposition at home. 3 wins, no draws and no defeats. Kiasos, a revelation in the first half. It was his cross that set up the goal for Panathinaikos. Gatskiewicz, Bialkiewicz, now Hussein turning away from Konstantinidis. Mitrulin joining the attack. There's Hussein. Varziha, foiled by Alexander Horovko. Very tense times for the Panathinaikos coaches. Panathinaikos.
Команді Динамо заміна. Замість Віталія Косовського, номер 9, грає Валентин Белькевич, номер 24.
Stadium announcer here just confirming that substitution that we mentioned a couple of minutes ago. Bialkiewicz in for Kosovsky. We'll see if that sharpens up the midfield for Dynamo Kyiv.
It certainly should, but this is the bigger problem for Dynamo Kyiv is that they're playing positional attack. Look at Panathinaikos. They have 8, 9, or even 10 players behind the ball, and they have to draw them out somehow. I think for Dynamo Kyiv, the way they like to play the transitional game. They're so fast. They like to come out of their back and go a little bit on counterattacks, even though they're playing at home. But Panathinaikos, they're staying with so many players in the penalty box. It really gives no room to Shevchenko and Rebrov to use their speed.
See if Rebrov can establish himself. There's Kardash. Bustling midfielder. Kardash looking for options wide on the left. Bialkiewicz has come into the move. Hussein. Here's Luzhny, the captain. It's very dangerous when going forward with authority on the right flank. Dynamo Kyiv looking for the free kick. They'll get it. Kiasos, the offender. Stony-faced up in the director's box. Rebrov trying to take the game to the Panathinaikos rearguard players. The fans still very much believing in the cause. This could be a decisive moment for them. Sanovic in the wall. Beside Alexopoulos. Shevchenko stands over this free kick for Dynamo Kyiv. 5 minutes into the second half. It's Shevchenko and into the wall. And then blasted high. The fans leaving their seats for a moment, thinking that might have been the equalizer. Not so.
Not certainly. Here we see him hitting the ball. There's a rebound. They get 2 shots at it. Obviously, this one, they would have liked to have that one back again. But set piece is so important. I think this might be the only way for Dynamo Kyiv to score today. We'll obviously see what happens. But especially in the tough, on the tough ground like this, when you get corner kicks and free kicks 18 yards away from the goal, you have to do it better than that.
Vanskiewicz, and here's Luzhny. Oh, beautiful turn. Luzhny, the captain! And oh my goodness! Somehow Vanjik got his leg to the ball and rescued the situation for Panathinaikos.
And Vanjik saves the day here. As we saw that ball being deflected, obviously Vanjik didn't see that coming, but still somehow, as we see this here, look at that shot, gets deflected. Vanjik leaning the other way, but still saves the day.
It's Luzhny again. This is what he does so effectively. Olovko all the way back to Alexander Shovkovsky.
He just wants to keep Shovkovsky in the game a little bit. As we said, he's a little bit cold, just gives him a touch there.
Hussein's pass. Vanskiewicz. Vokolos just got his hand to the ball in the nick of time. Panathinaikos trying to turn defense into attack. Bassinas robbed by Luzhny, and Hussein is there. Andriy Hussein has a good shot on him. Blocked away by Alexopoulos. Second crack at it for Hussein. Rebrov fights for the ball. Rebrov. It's in the net, but it won't count. To the chagrin of Serhii Rebrov. A couple of players made late runs. There appeared to be an offside flag.
Yeah, certainly Rebrov finally gets loose. We haven't seen him, as you said, at all in the first half. This time somebody must have. I wish we could see this one more time, but there's probably 1 or 2 players in the offside position when he was taking the shot.
Well, the referee, Hellmut Krug, was right on the spot.
Well, as we see it here one more time, look at Rebrov, an individual effort as he hits this ball here. Once again, we don't see, but yet there was a probably player or 2 in the offside position.
So it remains 1-0 Panathinaikos. But it's been a blistering start to the second half from Dynamo Kyiv.
Very dangerous situation for Panathinaikos. They can't afford to stop playing right now.
There's Vokolos, the big boot. Vanskiewicz becoming more and more a factor in the center of midfield. Vanskiewicz kicked it too far forward for his own good. Kardash. And appeals by the Panathinaikos players. There was an infringement. And a foul play on the edge of the penalty area. And the referee, Hellmut Krug, agrees. Free kick to Panathinaikos.
There's certainly a foul there. The 2 Dynamo Kyiv players ready to pounce on that ball. If it wasn't for a little bit of pushing, they would have had a chance. As we see this here one more time.
Let's see both players going for the ball. Shevchenko in the thick of the action. 9 minutes into the second half. Bialkovic certainly has provided a spark since coming off the bench. Now the turn of Panathinaikos to go forward. Shovkovsky. Luzhny. Kardash just in front. Shevchenko controls so well despite all the tackles coming in around him. Andriy Husin. Very tightly packed Panathinaikos defense. Might want to guard against dropping too many players back though, Janusz.
Well, certainly they're playing a little bit desperate right now, and it's way too early in the second half to play like that. They need to keep possession if possible, just the same way they did in the first half. Right now we see Dynamo Kyiv coming in waves, and Panathinaikos just kicking the ball, not trying to keep possession of it.
Skevich. Husin. Still 1-0. A goal by Panathinaikos. Andriy Husin again. Like Shevchenko has been linked with a move to Serie A. Konstantinidis with the trip. Well, controversy here because of what happened a couple of minutes ago.
Once again, as we see this shot, we see 2 or 3 players being in an offside position, and a very good call by the referee.
Serhiy Rebrov with the free kick for Dynamo Kyiv. Might come back. Holovko, a blistering drive. Liberopoulos had a couple of good efforts in the first half. That one full-blooded volley comes to mind. Another note for viewers in Latin America only. Join us for Goal ESPN Weekend on Sunday, right here on ESPN. 90 minutes of fast-paced action. Complete roundup of everything that's happened in the world's top leagues. Luzhny. Matskevich. And straight down the throat of Vanchik. Soaring clearance into the night sky. Extremely cold night it is here in Kiev. Temperature dropping to about -3. Kiasos has got away from his man. Luzhny. Kardash. Bialkovich with Shevchenko to the left. Andriy Shevchenko fighting to win the corner kick. He gets it. A lot of nervous-looking Dynamo Kyiv fans, anxious for their team to equalize. Vanchik waits. Rebrov with it. Asanovic with a header at the near post. Chase for Serhiy Rebrov. And Rebrov from long distance. Not sure whether Vanchik would have seen it. Shevchenko as well beside Rebrov.
Rebrov trying his luck once again. We saw it just before where his goal was disallowed. Once again he decides to take a shot. This was pretty far away.
Rebrov pot shot. He tries to add to his total, which stands at 3 in the Champions League this season. A biting play by Konstantinidis. Dimitrulin with the clearance for Dynamo Kyiv. And Dimitrulin is the man down. And very effectively at left full-back. The absence of Vladislav Vaschuk, who's suspended.
Certainly didn't make many mistakes, although you have to go back to that goal where obviously it came from the right side. He was pinched in very deep into the middle. I don't know if it was necessarily his goal, but certainly he has been playing well.
So I think that deep run by Panathinaikos took them all by surprise. And still, that is the goal that separates the sides, with now 14 minutes on the clock in the second half. Match day 5 of the Champions League. This is Group E. Dynamo Kyiv 0, Panathinaikos 1. Referee gives free kick to the Greek side. They've won 18 championships domestically. So Konstantinidis taking the fall. Eberopoulos. And Hussein let it trickle through. Dynamo Kyiv also managed 18 championships if you add together the Soviet titles, 13, and the 5 Ukrainian championships they've won since independence, 5 in a row for that matter. Have to credit the Czechs, though, for bringing football to this part of the world. Czech engineers responsible for that back in 1900. See, possession-wise here, Dynamo Kyiv well ahead. Not a big surprise.
Not really, and as we see this in the second half, a lot more urgency from Dynamo Kyiv. They're a lot more aggressive than Panathinaikos is right now. Obviously, they're losing, so they need to get some goals here. But I think Panathinaikos is falling in a dangerous trap right now. They're just trying to defend this, and they need to be more aggressive. You need Asanovic to hold on to the ball, put his foot on it, and try to play a little bit.
Vanskiewicz. And looking for the run to be made by Luzhny. Tapped out by Kiasos. And now is switched to the left again. It comes out to Shevchenko. Asanovic struggling to stay on his feet. See if he can do what Janusz talked about. Hemmed in right beside the touchline. He's having a lot of difficulty creating space for himself.
Well, certainly he's not happy with his teammates as well. Obviously, he needs support. What's happening is Panathinaikos playing so deep that once they do win the ball, they have to cover so much ground just to go forward into their offensive third. So I think right now they need to come out a little bit quicker when their players have the ball and give him some options.
Eberopoulos runs out of space this time. The orange ball used tonight for this Champions League match. The pitch is holding up remarkably well under the circumstances. No tribute to the ground staff here. Olofko. Dimitrulin. Wasn't the best first touch. Hence the late challenge. And this will mean a yellow card. Panathinaikos, who scored the goal, becomes the first Panathinaikos player to be booked.
Certainly Lagonikakis with a very late tackle, a mistimed tackle, certainly a yellow card. I'm sure he was going for a ball but never got anywhere near it. As you see it here one more time, look at this tackle, going for the ball, not coming even close to it. He's lucky it's only a yellow card.
And that is his first of the competition, so no suspension questions there. Asanovic, Apostolakis, Liberopoulos and Blendar Kola, the Albanian substitute, are the 4 players for Panathinaikos on the yellow card bubble. Now this is better. Luzhny released again. Oleg Luzhny. Can they finish it off? Away by Apostolakis.
Derek, certainly a Luzhny, for my money, is the man of the match so far for both teams. He's very active on the right side. All the danger comes from him. As we saw this cross just before that certainly could have been a goal.
Here it is again by Luzhny. Just a little bit behind Rebrov. And a bit of pushing maybe. Well, the referee let it go and away by Apostolakis. Valery Lobanovsky watching from his position on the bench. Another intriguing free kick possibility here for Andriy Shevchenko. 18 minutes into the second half. Dynamo Kyiv trail 1-0. Shevchenko not entirely happy with the positioning of the wall. Now he's satisfied. Players in the wall for Panathinaikos. Lagonikakis at the end. It's Shevchenko with a bullet. Second time of asking by Shevchenko. Vokolos with the clearance. And out of play it goes. Apostolakis attending to Fedorov. Serhiy Fedorov, the emergency starter. Mainly because of the suspension to Vasyuk. He'll limp his way, appears back up onto his feet. And Shevchenko made the late run. Rebrov, actually it was Kardash who got in behind the defense. Rebrov laid it on a plate for him.
Gotta give Kardash a lot of credit to stay with this ball in these conditions. Vanjik once again comes up big for Panathinaikos. You see this one more time. A very good ball over the defenders. Look at Vanjik come out and just block the ball with his foot.
Several times we've seen Kardash make those incisive late runs, getting behind the defenders.
He has been very active, Kardash, especially in the first half on that right side. We see him now a little bit on the right, a little bit on the left. I think they're trying to create some chaos and make these Panathinaikos defenders move.
The tide is turning, no doubt about that. Shevchenko draws out the free kick. Remains 1-0 Panathinaikos. And they would surely have settled for that before a ball was kicked. Bone-chilling weather here in Kyiv. The sort of thing the Panathinaikos players are accustomed to. But as we check our scoreboard, we see that it remains 1-0 because of Lagonikakis. And his superb bit of finishing in the 36th minute. The fans here at the Olympijski Stadium trying to play the role of extra man. Husin. Bialkovic is involved. And the free kick is given. Rembrov going down. Let's see if Shevchenko has a go once more. Katskiewicz beside. Whenever Shevchenko marches in, you tend to assume that he'll be the player given the nod.
Right, he had a chance twice already, once on the right side, once on the left, and he hit the ball into the wall. So we'll see what happens now. Let's see if he's going to take it.
No, it'll be Katskiewicz. Fooling everyone. Came off Kiasos last of all. And Luzhny in position to take the throw. Kardash linking up very well with Luzhny on the right now. Kardash winning the corner kick. Midway point of the second half. 1-0 Panathinaikos. Rembrov. There's Bialkovic and Husin. Well, not his best efforts. He's been threatening to let fly from that sort of position 3 or 4 times in this game, Andrei Husin.
He certainly was, and this time he saw some room, but you got to give credit to the Panathinaikos defense. There was a challenge going, then perhaps just enough pressure to make him miss.
Panathinaikos formed in 1908, actually as Pan-Hellenic by a group of English gentlemen who said adopted the shamrock on their shirts. A recognition of their foreign roots. I'm not sure if anyone has pointed out that they got their countries muddled up a little bit.
Well, the English will take credit for soccer anywhere they go.
Yes, indeed, shamrock or not. Now Bialkovic made a positive difference since coming off the bench. Maliansin to give him his full name. Husin in the middle, and Vanjik using all his experience. Really has had a tremendous match.
He certainly has. Vanjik's been playing very well so far. He's reading the plays very well. He comes out when he has to, and he showed us why he was, he's been capped 50 times for Poland.
Have to be careful over on that far side of the field in that very icy area. Luzhny. Janusz Sad, one of the stars of the show for Dynamo Kyiv, but they trail 1-0. Shavkovsky. Fedorov. His central defensive partner is Holovko. Dimitrulin at left back.
Defense been playing very well for Dynamo Kyiv, even though they haven't been really busy. With the exception of that one mistake, they've done what they were asked to do, and now they have a chance to move forward a little bit as we see Dynamo Kyiv moving 8 or 9 players into their offensive third.
Gatskevic, the central midfield anchor. Rebrov, well read by Basinas. I think has performed admirably under difficult circumstances for Panathinaikos. Basinas, not a first-team regular. Injuries to Gumas and Milojevic. Forcing the hand of Vasilis Daniel. Appeals for a free kick just inches from the penalty area. And it's given by Hellmut Krug.
Certainly here, I see a little bit of an obstructions right here. They try to force a penalty kick on the referee. Referee was right there, saw it. The ball was outside of the box.
Mokolos was the offender. Inside the final 20-minute spell. This is sheer tension. Panathinaikos beside Apostolakis in the wall. Rebrov and Shevchenko together. For Dynamo Kyiv, it's Rebrov. Bounces back to Shevchenko. Misses out Hussein. Oleg Luzhny. Now Hussein. Andrei Hussein. I think the fans unmoved by that. That was the attempted Hussein special.
Well, certainly, as you see this shot, we saw Hussein taking the shot 2 or 3 times before. Now he's trying again. It's always good to take shots, but obviously this was a little bit too far.
Dynamo Kyiv trying to wear down Panathinaikos. They trail 1-0. Hussein being followed all the way by Osanovic. Resigned to being really a defensive force in this game, the Croatian. Aljosa Osanovic now. All hands on deck for Panathinaikos. Gatskevic. Bit of bumping and barging. Kardash. Free kick. Apostolakis. I'll give it away badly. Now the chance is on. And this could be the opportunity. Rebrov. 1-1. The prince of Ukrainian poachers has leveled this game.
Derek, certainly we have not heard much from Rebrov. He finally scored his goal. That's what it takes for a talented forward like he is. As you said, Apostolakis guilty of a bad pass. As we see this cross here over the defenders, and look at him run onto it, and Vanjik really left with no chance.
That was Bialkovic with the perfect cross.
М'яч забив.
And Rebrov with the finish, his 4th goal in the Champions League this season.
And Rebrov, just a lethal finish, as you see it here. Bialkovic coming in the second half, doing a very good job, crossing this ball over the top, over the defenders. Something that we've talked about that needed to happen for this Dynamo Kyiv team. They needed to be a little bit more direct and make their runs.
One apiece. Back to the drawing board for Panathinaikos. But this is a Dynamo Kyiv side now. Extremely fired up. The self-belief is back. It's been a strong second half for them. Now they must surely be thinking about finishing off Panathinaikos for good. But for the moment, it's Liberopoulos. Lagonikakis. And Shavkovsky right quickly off his line, urging his players forward. The fans cheering and singing in tune to the rhythm of Serhii Rebrov and Dynamo Kyiv. "16 minutes left. Hussein. And all the way through for the goal kick. Italian Serie A football comes your way live on Sunday here on ESPN. Our match will see Parma take on AC Milan, 2 of the big guns. Check your local listings for the drama and passion of Serie A right here on ESPN. Well, if drama and passion and tension is what you're looking for, this is the place to be.
Certainly is, and you could see that coming, really. The momentum has always been on Dynamo Kyiv side, but I think Panathinaikos has stopped playing.
And balloons high over the top, wide as well. As Rebrov tried to make his way forward. Very nervous looking Vasilis Daniel. Nicolos, the clearance, here's your scoreboard. Lagonikakis with the 36-minute goal, beautifully taken. But then Rebrov from close range after Bialkovic had done the donkey work, making it 1-1. Hussein to the punch that time. And a fair amount of defensive work, Andriy Hussein, in addition to going forward.
Well, certainly much better second half for him as well. Not only is he playing defensive midfielder very well, but he's starting some of the attack for this Dynamo Kyiv team, and he's been heavily involved in the offense. So certainly a big change from the first half, where I thought Hussein did not get involved as much.
Less than 15 minutes to go. Can Dynamo Kyiv push it home? Bialkovic wants the throw. Came off Konstantinidis last of all. And it will be Luzhny to take it. Panathinaikos getting reinforcements ready. See the Brazilian Mauro preparing for action. There's Vanchik. What a fine match he has had for Panathinaikos. Couldn't do much about the goal scored by Rebrov. Bialkovic. And the whistle sounded. Referee Hellmut Krug. Dangerous play. And the free kick is awarded to Dynamo Kyiv. A delayed reaction from this huge crowd. Looks as though it's in excess of 40,000. It's a bitterly cold night. There's Blendat Kola, the Albanian, getting ready to come in. The referee will force them to take it again. Fourth official, Hans-Jürgen Weber, just talking it over with the Panathinaikos coaching staff. 13 minutes to go. Bialkovic this time. And Fedorov up helping the attack as well, but through it goes. Will be a Panathinaikos ball, and now they should be able to get Kola into the game. He said from Albania, played against Greece last week in the Euro 2000 qualifying competition, a 0-0 draw. And out is coming the veteran Stratos Apostolakis, who has run his legs off.
He certainly has, but Apostolakis, the guilty party in that tying goal. I thought, as you said, not clearing the ball properly. That's where Dynamo Kyiv went down that side and were able to score the goal.
Bialkovic taking Konstantinidis for a ride. Away by Alexopoulos.
У команді Panathinaikos
Rebrov.
заміна. Замість Страс.
Now here's Kola, the substitute.
Apostolakis, номер 2.
Very cultured midfielder and a good-looking ball. And it wouldn't quite fall for Krzysztof Warzycha. Perhaps a quiet game by his own high standards.
He certainly has. So we haven't seen him, but we haven't really seen the Panathinaikos offense today. They've been content to play defensively, especially after they scored the first goal. They just set back, and a lot of times if you don't have the service, it's very difficult to play for you if you're forward, and that goes for Warzycha.
Ganskevic. Luzhny. Could he be the key that unlocks the door to victory? He'll get a corner kick here. It came off Basinas. Vanchik shouts out the instructions. Look at that advantage. 10 corner kicks to 2 in favor of Dynamo Kyiv. And the Rebrov will take this one by Kiasos.
Oh my goodness, as we see this corner kick, obviously Dynamo Kyiv, the better team, they probably deserve the goal. But look at this, Kiasos kicks the ball right into Basinas, and Vanchik can just look at it going into the net.
No pressure from Dynamo Kyiv at all.
It certainly wasn't. As we see this one more time, look at this. I mean, it looks like a simple clearance. Bassinas really ran to the ball. A little bit miscommunication. They weren't sure who's supposed to take this ball, but Kyiv certainly faces the ball. It should have been his.
Off Bassinas, an own goal. The Dynamo Kyiv players celebrate. And after a whirlwind 8-minute spell, it's 2-1 Dynamo Kyiv. And now Panathinaikos left chasing this game.
Well, certainly, and really unfortunate for Bassinas, who came into this game not normally a starter, have played a very decent game, and obviously if this score stays, he's going to be remembered for that, and that's very unfortunate for him.
Well, what a turnaround here at the Olympijski Stadium. The question is, what do Panathinaikos have left? They've spent much of this game sucking up pressure. Not especially interested in testing out the Dynamo Kyiv defense. Now they will have to, or face the consequences. And a win for Dynamo Kyiv here would see them equal Racing Club de Lens on points. Well, Kola is down, the Albanian who came off the bench moments ago. Something very gingerly would have to be said. Kola. Liberopoulos. Marjiha with his back to goal, getting no change out of the Dynamo Kyiv defense. Holovko. Here's Bialkovic. The storming substitute. The man from Belarus. And was he pushed? Right on the edge of the penalty area, yes, by Bassinas. It's all falling apart for Angelos Bassinas now.
Well, he's certainly frustrated. Great run by Bialkovic. That was a great substitution in the second half. He certainly opened up that left side. Look at this here. It's going in. Panathinaikos really lucky that this wasn't a penalty kick. It was certainly a very close call.
Referee ruling that it was just inches from the box. This is the third or fourth free kick we've seen for Shevchenko in this sort of position.
Let's hope that he's going to do much better than he's done in the past, as we saw these balls going into the wall.
Andriy Shevchenko and Vanchik went down low. And how on earth did that stay out?
Certainly, what a much better free kick from Shevchenko. Really hit a bounce, picked up speed on the way and hit the post. Very lucky for Panathinaikos and Vanchik.
Off the woodwork. Watch it again.
Once again, that hop just before Vanchik. I think he might have gotten a touch on that, but certainly the woodwork has helped him.
Well, surely that would have settled the issue. Third goal for Dynamo Kyiv. As it is, it remains 2-1, and the door is still ajar for Panathinaikos.
Still ajar, but not much in this case. You certainly have to say that Dynamo Kyiv, much better team. They deserve the lead, and they probably deserve the win. But you never know. There's still some time left.
Agonikakis, a poorly taken free kick. This is right up Rebrov Street. Rebrov, who scored the equalising goal. Typical Rebrov finish from close range. Liberopoulos. Looked like a foul. No, says the referee. Because though Dimitrulin is guilty of foul play. Italian Serie A action on Sunday. Our live coverage will hail from Rome. The Rome derby at the Stadio Olimpico. Lazio against AS Roma. Roma flying high in the table. Lazio the big spenders. Serie A going into the season. Well, this has been thoroughly enjoyable. Every minute of this exacting contest. And Dynamo Kyiv finally with the lead after trailing for so long. The home crowd cheering them on to what they hope will be a share of first place in Group E. I mentioned that Mauro was limbering up earlier. Here he is. The Brazilian will come into the game. 20 years of age. Spent most of his career in the lower divisions in Belgium and Switzerland. Began with Caxias do Sul. in Brazil, and he has replaced Kiasos.
У команді Panathinaikos
Good score at Wembley Stadium against Arsenal, the 2-1 defeat.
Кіасоса, номер 23. Грає
So striker for a defender,
Сілва, номер 24.
serving notice of Panathinaikos' intentions now. 5 minutes left.
Certainly that substitution makes sense. Kyiv, I thought, had a very good game considering that he had to go against Kardash and Luzhny, who really worked him on that side, but he got involved offensively. We saw that on the goal for Panathinaikos. Unfortunately, he was the part of that own goal play which gave Dynamo Kyiv the lead.
Free kick against Rebrov. And then butchered in the end by Panathinaikos. Losing their rhythm, Dimitrulin with the throw, happy to take it. With just over 4 minutes left. Hussein. This is Dimitrulin. Hussein again, Dimitrulin. Measured feed. Bialkovic making the run down the left. The flag was raised. Panathinaikos, memories of his goal in the 36th minute fading now for Panathinaikos. Unless they can produce something magical in the closing minutes. They try to whip it in, and Shavkovsky in trouble. The defense bails him out. On off goal, Konstantinidis. Agonizingly close. Well, a rare mistake before that by Alexander Shavkovsky.
Well, certainly he wasn't sure on that cross, and as we said, he hasn't had much to do. I don't know how much that was a part of this play, but certainly looked like a very easy cross that he should be able to handle very easily. The ball got away from him, but as you said, the defense played well and we were able to clear that ball.
It's a good cross initially by the Albanian Blendar Kola.
Certainly he did well just saving that ball. That ball was going out of bounds. He was able to cross in with his left foot, but I still feel Shavkovsky on any other day would have been able to catch that ball.
Strong performance by Vasil Kardash. He will leave the game, replaced by Dmitro Mikhailenko, 25 years of age. He's played 21 times for the national team of the Ukraine.
У команді Динамо
the Dynamo Kyiv defense coming really close, clearing that ball, and Olympiacos, this is probably their best chances they scored a goal.
Panathinaikos trailing 2-1 with just over 2 minutes left. There's Mikhailenko. First piece of activity for him. There's a somewhat agricultural looking challenge. Panathinaikos will take the free kick. Well, this is Champions League drama at its absolute best. Superb theatre. Panathinaikos. They come back out. A shot by Vargiha. Captained by Mauro, the Brazilian. Corner kick. They're still alive. And it will be Blendar Kola to take it. Watch for the outswinger. Left boot of his. Now panic in the center of the defense. And somehow Shavkovsky goes down to make the catch. Well, all of a sudden the Dynamo Kyiv defense getting ripped apart.
Certainly Shavkovsky once again slow to react, particularly on this ball before what we just saw. But I think where was this for Panathinaikos when obviously when they were still leading 1-0, 1-1. And I think this is just a state of mind. A lot of times you get ahead, you try to hold on to the score, but they're showing us in the last 4 or 5 minutes that they could play. If they had done that, 10, 15 minutes ago, I think they still would have been on top.
They trail 2-1. 2 goals at 8 minutes for Dynamo Kyiv. As we approach stoppage time, stay with us for our Champions League post-match wrap here on ESPN. We'll sum up this Group E match for you. Update you on all the other happenings. Kola. Well, they're still giving this a real go, the Panathinaikos players. Collar with the throw. Appealing for the free kick, which he will get. 2 minutes of stoppage time, as we had in the first half. So it will be in the second. Kola strikes it.
За рішенням арбітра тайм продовжується на 2 хвилини.
Trying to find the Albanian again on the flank. No defense to speak of now, though. And Vanjic. Oh, that's experience for you. Sensed the danger, came all the way out of his area. Well, whether Panathinaikos lose or draw at this stage, I think Vanjic deserves a lot of credit.
Certainly does. As we saw it here, he's still in the game. He's very aware, came out, really perhaps saved the third goal. I think for Panathinaikos, obviously they have to send some numbers forward, and that's what happened. That's why they got caught in transition.
Asanovic. Almost 1 minute into stoppage time. So seconds tick away. So the cheers get louder and louder here at the Olympijski Stadium in Kyiv. An unlikely victory in the end, given the circumstances of this game. Dynamo falling behind in the 36 minutes, but now they're going for goal number 3. And they almost had it that time. Once again, Bialkovic heavily involved in the build-up and the final attempt, but Vanjic is solid as a rock. They're preparing for victory.
Once again, we see a 1-2 play. Really, they had a little bit of time. As we see this Panathinaikos defense a little bit rattled, but Vanjic once again comes up big.
We've played the 2 minutes and stoppage time now. All eyes on the German referee, Hellmut Krug. There goes the final whistle. A dramatic victory for Dynamo Kyiv. They came from behind in spectacular fashion. Rebrov with the equalizer. And then that painful own goal that goes against Basinas of Panathinaikos. It counted for Dynamo Kyiv, making the final score 2-1 on this freezing night here in the Ukraine. Rejoin us in just a moment here on ESPN.